Mommy blogging, for lack of a better term, is not a new concept. Some of the first mommy bloggers got their start in the early 2000s, writing about their lives, families, career decisions, and parenting tips. Since then, the industry, because it is now a $10 billion industry, has shifted from advice telling and storytelling to the development of a vast coalition of female entrepreneurs and influencers set on not just making money for themselves, but on helping others do the same. Indeed, the term mommy blogging perhaps is a little outdated now, especially considering what these women actually do for a living. In essence, the industry has been transformed by Instamoms and stay-at-home moms, marketing influencers, creating a culture of shared meaning for parents and families around the world. In fact, mommy bloggers are not just bloggers, but they're women who have had at least one household and contributed or read a blog in the last 30 days. As we know, an organization doesn't have a culture, but it is a culture. And while mommy blogging isn't an exception, it is a community. One blogger, a freelance writer, wrote, "Mommy bloggers helped me shape my idea of parenting before my son was even born, and were wonderful resources to me as a new parent. This was a community I wanted to be a part of, and blogging was a way I could publicly contribute to the discussion."
Since there are both positive and negative aspects to this mommy blogger community, we must first address the positive and then the negative aspects.
First, the writers and the content creators, better known as mommy bloggers themselves, affect their audiences. Second, we will briefly explore the effects on the audience or the content consumers. Content creators and rhetorical orators have utilized their position of power over many thousands of years to persuade and direct discussion and debate. Mommy bloggers today are no different. Mommy bloggers present themselves generally as inexperienced or having a lack of knowledge. Surprisingly, this strategy actually increases the feeling of common ground between the blogger and reader, thus augmenting the blogger's appeal to ethos. Some bloggers exaggerate or even create stories to entertain and to inform. These exaggerations may assist the blogger in beating out competition. Thanks to a higher following and audience, advertising agencies may even contact bloggers to take advantage of the huge amount of website visitors. Many mommy bloggers struggle with their individual sense of body image. They also worry about their sense of self, their personal role in Western society, how seriously they're taken by their audience, and their personal level of social discomfort. How mommy bloggers are viewed by others impacts them significantly. In addition, the audience is affected in multiple ways. Firstly, the emotional link that is created between writer and reader is inspired by their shared interaction. This interaction, if expanded to many readers, will result in a sense of community. Secondly, audiences are also affected by the content that mommy bloggers create. The readers will put the bloggers' ideas and suggestions into practice, for better or for worse.
The audience in this community is considered an active public, meaning that the public recognizes its problems and challenges and mobilizes to address them. In this way, the bloggers and the readers contribute to the community that they've created.
Because the question of the impact of mommy blogging on parenting is relatively new, extensive research on the subject has yet to be conducted. Some researchers are, however, beginning to recognize how important this issue might be and are examining some of the more basic positive and negative effects. According to a study from the Maternal and Child Health Journal, there may be positive benefits for new parents in creating and using blogs. The study found that frequency of blogging predicted feelings of connection to extended family and friends, which then predicted perceptions of social support. This in turn predicted maternal well-being, including marital satisfaction, couple conflict, parenting stress, and depression. Social support is a key element as it was found to be a significant protective factor against the development of mood and anxiety disorders in mothers. Mothers who lack support from their own families and friends often turn to online communities. One study found that as social support increases, mothers report lower levels of depression, anxiety, and stress. Additionally, online blogs and social media are often used to share information on postpartum care. Research suggests that new mothers were the most active internet users when looking up health and parenting information. Having access to such a large resource of diverse and detailed information can have a positive effect on modern parenting.
However, research has also found negative effects that may occur as a result of participating in the mommy blogging industry. Because social media tends to communicate idealized images and discourses of motherhood rather than the real daily struggles of parenthood, mothers who struggle with perfectionism and comparing themselves to these ideals may be at risk of poor mental health when engaging with these types of media. One study looking at perfectionism differentiated between mothers who hold excessively high standards for their own parenting, termed self-oriented parenting perfectionism, and mothers who believe that society holds high standards for their parenting, or societal prescribed parenting perfectionism. Both dimensions were assessed, and it was found that for mothers with self-oriented parenting perfectionism, social comparison with other mothers on social media contributed to anxiety and depression, although the amount of time spent had no impact, while for mothers with societal prescribed parenting perfectionism, the amount of time spent contributed to depression and anxiety. Additionally, sites that reinforce traditional gender stereotypes and unequal gender roles contribute to stress for new mothers seeking parenting advice from mommy blogs. Validation is also an important element in determining the impact on mothers in mommy blogging. This same study found that most often it was the quality of the interaction on media rather than the quantity of time that impacted mental health, as mothers experienced positive emotions when they received validation of their parenting and negative emotions when they did not. Children are also affected by the use of mommy blogs. Besides having a negative impact on the mother's well-being, the mental health issues related to social media interaction are an issue because it is found that maternal depression can impact negatively on the interaction between mother and child and impair the cognitive, emotional, and social development of the child. Research on postnatal anxiety has found that high levels of maternal anxiety can have adverse effects on parent-child interactions and on the development and behaviors of the child. Therefore, as far as social comparison and perfectionism contribute to maternal mental health, they also affect child development, for better or for worse.
Now you might be wondering why this information is important and how mommy blogging is affecting modern parenting. We've explained what it is, the negatives and the positives on how mommy blogging is affecting bloggers, their families, and their audiences. But the idea we would like to reinforce is about the community of mommy bloggers as a whole. It is a community, a culture, and because of that, an echo chamber, where these women and audiences create for themselves whatever they need it to be, where their ideas are reverberated back to them, and where they are pushed to be and believe what the group wants them to be and believe. It requires validation, but also breeds competition and insecurity as women are influenced by idealized standards of parenting. One mommy blogger shared her experience. After a few seconds of shame, your reaction turns into one of criticism and judgment. You think snarky thoughts about your friend and her braggy post, judging her in any way you can to make yourself feel better. It's all there. The mom envy, the judgment, the comparison, the self-doubt. So somehow, the truly joyous occasion shared by your friend has thrown you into a spiral of shame, comparison, and doubt. That one picture has highlighted in your mind the idea that your own relationship doesn't measure up. All those nasty comments that were spinning through your head a minute ago are all really just defense mechanisms, because we, as mothers, people who work around the clock without tangible reward for our toiling, fall victim much more easily to the inadequacy and self-doubt that someone else's successes shared on social media brings up. This culture has been around for a while, but there isn't enough research being done specifically on parenting and blogging. It's time to do research so that we can better understand this community and better understand how to improve the influence on modern parenting.